We dug out most of the rock, cut little areas where water had got in. It's pretty hot in here. It's a new sunroof for Nandji. I'm committed now. What's the point in doing something half-assed? It's good to see a bit of progress.
We don't use nails around here. We use epoxy. Subscribe to the channel as we sail this old girl around the world.
We had been hauled out and in the boatyard for a couple of weeks now and are steadily making inroads on our long list of jobs to complete. Working long days in the hot sun, slowly Nandji is transforming into something great. Old Smokey and the mess she left behind are long gone and the engine room has had a massive makeover. However, we are now on hold for the engine installation as we wait on a new stern tube from Australia to be made and sent. On to the next major job of removing the old windlass and dealing with whatever we discover in the bow.
It's time to finally remove this old windlass. There'll be no more hand pulling of this anchor on this boat anymore. But we haven't been able to install a new windlass because there's too much going on up here that I need to change. Hey buddy. And there's quite a few soft spots, so we didn't have any rope guides on the side here and we'd kind of worn through a bit of glass, so I think we got some water in, so we're a little bit rotted. Now I've got to rip up all this glass. Check this out. So it's quite soft. You can see there's a big layer of wetness there. It's still pretty hard. So I think if we peel back, it's all kind of delaminated, the glass, so I guess it's wet all the way through here. So I'll rip up the big patch of glass here and we'll just see what we discover. Go from there. Seems like every job on Nandji I need to be in the worst positions.
Looks so good in there. Looks beautiful. Look how you're sweating.
It's pretty hot in here.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It was a hazard.
It fell on you?
Yeah.
Yosh, you're taking it off and it fell on you.
I've got nowhere else to go.
This is our bed that we're sleeping on. It's just folded up here. Come through here, we got the aircon working. Thank you very much. We got a desk there. That's where I'm sitting. I'm editing. And then we've got all of our clothes over here. They were over behind the air conditioner, but it started leaking on all of them. So half of our clothes are outside drying and the other half are over here. Floor is all pulled up in here. Come through to our actual bedroom. This is it here. And we can't use the toilet at the moment, but that's the bathroom. Welcome home.
The tool for all fix-it jobs. Get out of here! Go on! Go away!
That's a bit bigger than expected, or as always.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of water that's got in, and because it's glass, it's just plywood on top here, and then it's like stripped planks underneath, which is all the solid stuff, but the water's got in and it's soaked through the ply. Because it's marine ply, it's got fiberglass in it, so it's got layers. So it just kind of, the water reaches so far, then drips down. So I'm just trying to find that edge.
Oh my god. What?
Just a new sunroof for Nandji. I'm committed now, you know, like you gotta, what's the point in doing something half-assed? We're gonna take this inner forestay off because it's delaminated through here as well. So I'll take the inner forestay off, take the forestay off and the furler.
You just stay there, Kevy.
Take this front thing off, pull it all apart basically, but I'm good at breaking stuff, so let's just keep digging. Danita's stronger than I am, Uncle, so don't worry about heavy lifting. Never taken this off before.
Oh my goodness, just don't go anywhere with it. Oh my god, look at you.
I've got a permanent safety bag. I'm safe everywhere.
Safety Steve. It's a good day for me. For like the last week we've been living with dust particles, fiberglass particles all throughout the boat, and yesterday was Yosh's last day of grinding inside, so I can sort of restore Nandji back to a more livable condition. I'm going to prepare the aft cabin again so that we can return back there for sleeping. The V-berth is pretty comfortable, but it's not quite long enough for Yosh and I's long legs. It's like this much short, so yeah, can't wait to get back to our original bed.
I've cleaned it all back and took the top layer of epoxy off, just so, because there's a little bit of rot, I want to put a penetrating epoxy in, so I had to get all the glass off so it's actually going to penetrate the wood. So we got all that off, but I kind of stepped on this little bit here and this fell down. It's all still solid, it's all epoxied in, but it's just broken off away from the edge and this other bearer. So just mixing up some epoxy glue, wood glue, and trying to shove it down in all those gaps. Still got to cut back the edge here and finally get it exactly where we're going to relay the new deck. So we dug out most of the rock and we're taking off all the big bit of ply here, and we're going to resheet the deck with a big bit of ply. But there's still bits of hardwood and where old screws were and that sort of stuff, and a couple little areas where water had got in and caused a bit of rot. So we're using this stuff called Everjour. It's from International. It's a penetrating epoxy, so you kind of paint it on. It says that you should like mix it down with thinners, but the stuff's so thin already, you know, you paint it on a bit of wood and it's like, it just sucks it in. But we first got cotton onto this stuff when we were in Port Vila by this fella who owns a Warrum catamaran, which is made of wood, and he swears by...
What does it do?
It's a penetrating epoxy, so you paint it on and it goes, the wood absorbs it and it sucks it all in, and then once it sets, it's rock hard.
So you use it on rotten wood?
So you use it on like soft wood and rotted wood and that sort of stuff, rather than tearing things apart and trying to replace bearers and all that sort of stuff. So for structural beams, you just get this gear into it. To apply it, your wood really needs to be dry. You need to get to the areas and try to dry it out as much as you can. For us, we've just left it out here in the sun because the sun here is cooking. But otherwise, if it's downstairs and below, you'd probably have to get a heat gun onto it or something like that. That soft, dry wood, it's just gonna bond it all together. You just keep getting it on and soaking the wood until, see how this wood's really hard, it kind of runs. And you see there's a bit of soft wood where that screw was. You put it up on the hard, see it just kind of boils on top and it runs, so that's fine. But down here where the old screw was, it's just sucking it in.
Leftover epoxy.
Leftover epoxy, just treat all the wood.
This vacuum cleaner is saving our lives. Every night I have to vacuum so we can live here.
We filled the void yesterday and we've epoxied it all in. We had a bit of leftover epoxy, so I just treated all the top side of the woods. But I still got to finish off making our sunlight. That's our bed right there, mind you. So last night we slept under the stars, and of course there was a little bit of rain, so we're just lying there and getting rained on our heads. Starting to take shape, which looks really good. We've had to find the edge back here because we're going to try to put one big bit of ply in, so then it all joins together and then glass it in, so it's one piece, makes it real solid. It's good to see a bit of progress. We found the edge here. There was like nice bits of solid wood here still, but we chipped all that out, so we've got back to the bearer. The new deck ply has got a corner and an edge where you can glue into and screw into, and it just makes it all more solid. So this whole front end is just going to be like the Titanic. No, probably not the Titanic.
Oh my god, the Titanic sunk! Not the Titanic.
Not the Titanic. So now we've got a good edge here. It is wider than what the lengths of ply are. Ply come in 1.2 by 2.4, 4 by 8. So we'll have to put in 2 bits of ply to make one new deck, but just measuring up now. I've got one last little bit of hardwood to epoxy in, then we'll make the ply and stick down a new deck. Nandji's going to be amazing. That sort of amazing. Whoop, whoop. The marine ply that we bought, it's a bit thinner than the stuff I've ripped out. So, we'll just cut this and get this one in. It's about the 120th time I've climbed this ladder today. Up and down, up and down.
We don't use nails around here, we use epoxy. It looks like fat.
Race and rain, trying to get it all on here.
First, just like fully just screw down the middle.
We drew a line.
This is the final little piece for the bow. It's all really solid here, and the boss got some really big long screws, so hopefully we can pull it much tighter than what we could on this other edge. We decided to keep it as one because we can push down, and I want to match this top edge. I think that's the most important here, and then on the edges we can fill and bog and make the gum all pretty afterwards. But I think the best thing is to make it level with this other one, because then the bow roll and all the other kerfuffle that goes on up here will fit sweetly. All right, Uncle, I reckon we're ready for some glue. out. We chose the plywood that's a little bit thinner than the old ply, so when we've laid it down, there's a little bit of, it's like 3 or 4 mil, where the glass of the old deck matches the new deck. So we've had to fill up that gap, so we're trying to make it so it's just nice and level and bevels out so you can't even tell the difference. So Uncle's mixed up a bit of a silica epoxy mix, and he's practicing his screeding as if he's laying pavers. We're just trying to build up that little gap in between. 4-part resin to 1-part hardener, epoxy, and then you use like an additive called silica, which expands as it sets. So it's used as like a filler. It's super hard. Oh, it sucks the sand. I've said it a few times how tough is Benita. She's just standing and goes, Yosh, come here, I got a splinter, you got to pull this out. Have a look at the size of the thing. It's like over 10 mil long. It was like I had to peel back her skin with a pin to be able to get to grab it, and I've just ripped this out. She's a tough chick. You're a weapon. You're a weapon.
I don't know what to say.
Careful, weapon of mass destruction over here. This here is all that filler I was talking about earlier. So now we've got a nice gentle slope from the old deck down to the new, and hopefully by the time we put glass on it, then Kiwi grip on top, you won't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Unless hopeful, guarantee. Now we're ready to glass. Now this is going to be a bit of a technical bit because we're going to try to do it in one big patch. Not in one piece over the whole lot, but in 2. So we'll kind of split it a bit over half, so then when we join the 2 in the middle, they'll overlap, so add that bonding strength. We're going to try to lay it down from the front, the back, and then roll it over these sides. We're going to make a bit of a silica mixture on the edges to try to help for that curve, because it's really heavy 24-ounce glass, and we need to try to curve it, and it doesn't want to do that sort of stuff, but we're going to make it do that.
Yeah, so we want these verticals, horizontals, aim for about here. Pull that side over, fold it onto the top of here.
What are you guys working with?
A little bit more epoxy.
Yeah, more epoxy.
We wet it all out and we're just working it in to make sure no air bubbles come up, but because it's such a tight curve, Uncle's just really paying attention to the edge just to keep it, as the epoxy starts kicking and starts going off, so it really bonds and sticks, so you just got to keep working it in and caressing and massaging.
How long will you do that for?
So it starts to kick off, which if I put it in the sun right now, it would go off in a minute, but I'm afraid that it'll just not a good idea. You don't want it to go fast. You want it to kick hard, but you don't want it to kick rocket hard. This is our biggest area of concern.
Yep.
This is the bond to the hull,
Yep.
the deck. We don't want any bubbles in there for strength. A bubble wouldn't hurt that bad, but it wouldn't be very good either.
So Yosh, you've done a big fiberglassing job before on Nandji. What have you learnt since then?
Well, I did it quite a bit differently because I was pretty nervous about how long it was going to take for the epoxy, and I just wanted to wet it out. But after glassing with the professional, I soon realised that I need to use a lot more epoxy when I fiberglass. This is sick. This looks so good.
Yeah.
So much better than what I would have thought.
So you're going to wait for this to dry and then do the other side tomorrow?
You bloody know it, Benita.
Okay.
You know it. You're a glasser from way back.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll let all this dry. Keep working it as it goes off, just to keep it massaging into the hull, making sure it all sticks. Everything's beautiful.
You got to come and see this bow. Yosh and Kev have done such a great job. Look at that there. You can feel like the gradual slope, but it's not noticeable at all, so that should come out really nice when we paint it. It's solid as, eh?
We've pre-drilled all the holes. I'm just tapping them with the screw that's going in there, and then we're going to take the screws out of every one, come back, fill it all with epoxy, and then we'll put the rail into place, put the screw down, and then we'll put a bit of silica around the head of the screw, so then it'll be watertight around the top, and then it should be all epoxy inside the hole, so it should be waterproof. So just remind me in about 5 or 6 years time from now, when I'm digging right out the front here, and then you'll know.
You remind us?
Yeah,
Here's a reminder.
Oh my god, Yosh is rivaling. Come on, come down here, Yosh, show me. Yosh is rivaling my splinter. What? No. No. That's the end of another video. We are actually sitting in the dark right now. We have no fridges. Our kitchen is unusable at the moment, and we have no electricity or lights because something happened today.
Yeah, the house battery's isolator switch kind of carked it today, so when I was playing around with that stuff, I turned it off and it won't turn back on, so we've got no power on the boat.
Yeah, we're just like being lit up by a light on our phone and the camera light as well, so it's pitch black here.
Boat life.
Yeah, boat life. I can't believe how much work the bow needed. Like, there were a few soft spots there, but we had no idea that it needed that much work, and I'm so glad that we left replacing the windlass until we actually got to the boatyard.
Yeah, I kind of knew there was a fair bit going on there, but yeah.
He doesn't like to give too much away to me.
So cheers to those frothers that have jumped on board and the Sailing Nandji fam the last couple of days. Thanks to Bradley, Mother and Big Mama, Fab VA, Kanda and Sailing Pinay. So thanks, frothers, for getting on board.
Yeah, thanks guys. If you like our vids, please consider becoming a patron to help keep us floating and filming.
Thanks, legends.
Thanks guys. Another episode should be out soon. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel.
Catch ya.
See ya. Getting ready to leave this morning. Welcome to Thailand. Woo!
I don't know what we'd do without Uncle. This guy has been an absolute lifesaver for Nandji.
We just did a crazy scooter ride through the city. Kevin's had some work done here before, and fingers crossed he can do it. It's the biggest sail loft in the whole world. It's like the size of a football field in here. It's massive. That was an easy way to get rid of $900.
Oh dear's pulling through with the goods. That's 400 Aussie for a new shaft.